The night before transformation often begins with a whisper that something within us longs for alignment, a soft ache reminding us that life as it is does not fully reflect the potential we feel pulsing beneath the surface. Have you ever noticed how, even in moments of comfort, there lingers a subtle sense of disconnection, as if a part of your soul is searching for a deeper rhythm with the universe? This video begins precisely at that threshold, the space between what is and what could be. Today, we explore how living in harmony with the universe is not merely an abstract spiritual idea, but a transformative reality capable of reshaping every level of your life: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. To live in harmony with the universe means learning to attune your inner energy to the vast and intelligent field that governs existence. Think of it not as mystical rhetoric, but as an invitation to align your thoughts, emotions, and intentions with the greater order of life. Neuroscience has revealed, through the groundbreaking work of Joe Dispenza, that our repeated thoughts and emotions alter our biology, rewire our neural circuits, and literally set the stage for new realities. When you change the inner dialogue, you don't just feel better. You begin to broadcast a different frequency that attracts experiences aligned with that energy. Energy, after all, is vibration, and our frequency is not hidden from the universe. Just as a tuning fork vibrates in harmony with another of similar pitch, our internal state resonates with the field of possibilities surrounding us. Gratitude, love, and presence amplify our frequency, while fear, scarcity, and resentment lower it. Napoleon Hill once described the mastermind as the alignment of thought with a higher purpose, a state where miracles become natural outcomes. This alignment is not about pretending to be spiritual. It is about embodying authenticity so deeply that the universe itself responds. In this journey, we will dive into the hidden sabotage of scarcity, the indispensable power of emotional coherence, the silent weight of limiting beliefs, and the transformative gift of silence. Each step is an unveiling of truth, showing that abundance, health, love, and peace are not prizes granted to the chosen few, but natural consequences of vibrational harmony. The universe is not against you. It is simply reflecting back the energy you sustain. And when you choose alignment, the reflection changes. This is where our path begins, with the recognition that transformation is possible, that your energy is your true currency, and that by shifting it, you can reshape your entire life. Stay with me, for the truths we will uncover have the power to ignite the very transformation you have been yearning for. There is a quiet thread that runs beneath so many lives, a vibration so subtle yet so pervasive that it shapes decisions, emotions, and outcomes without ever being noticed. This thread is scarcity, not as an external lack, but as an internal frequency that colors the way we perceive reality. Scarcity is not simply having less money than you would like, or lacking opportunities in the material sense. It is the silent belief that there will never be enough, that life is always slipping just beyond reach, that what others enjoy is somehow denied to you. This frequency, once established, sabotages manifestation at its root, because the universe does not respond to what we want, but to what we are vibrationally aligned with. Scarcity is often born in the shadows of childhood experiences or reinforced through cultural conditioning. A child who grows up hearing phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees" or "Life is hard," unconsciously absorbs these statements as universal laws. Even if that child grows into an adult who achieves outward success, the subconscious continues to vibrate with the energy of lack, quietly broadcasting it into the field of life. Neuroscience, particularly the work of Joe Dispenza, illuminates how repeated thoughts and emotions carve pathways in the brain like rivers, etching valleys into stone. Each time we worry about money, each time we feel unworthy of love, the neural circuit deepens, strengthening the frequency of scarcity until it becomes a default state of being. This is why simply desiring abundance often fails. People may declare affirmations of wealth and success, yet beneath those declarations pulses an unexamined current of fear. Fear of losing what little they have, fear of being left out, fear of not being enough. The universe listens less to words and more to energy. A person repeating "I am abundant" with a heart filled with anxiety is not aligned with abundance, but with scarcity disguised in hopeful language. Manifestation falters not because the universe is unkind, but because the vibrational signal is incoherent. Scarcity has many disguises. It can appear in relationships as the belief that love is conditional or limited, leading to patterns of clinging or jealousy. It can manifest in health as the conviction that healing is rare and only for the lucky few, which undermines the body's innate intelligence to restore itself. It can even appear in spirituality as the fear that divine connection is reserved for others, more disciplined, enlightened, or worthy. In all these forms, scarcity creates a resonance of contraction, and what contracts cannot expand into abundance. One of the most overlooked aspects of scarcity is its self-perpetuating cycle. When you vibrate in scarcity, you make choices that mirror that energy. You may avoid investing in yourself because you fear losing resources, thereby missing opportunities that could elevate your life. You may settle for unfulfilling relationships out of the belief that nothing better will come. Each choice then reinforces the scarcity belief, creating evidence that the subconscious uses to justify its original fear. The loop tightens until manifestation feels impossible. To break this cycle, awareness is the first step. You cannot shift what you refuse to acknowledge. Begin by noticing the language that silently runs through your thoughts each day. Do you often think in terms of not enough time, not enough love, not enough opportunities? Do you measure your progress against others and conclude you are behind? These subtle signals reveal the vibration you are sustaining. Neuroscience teaches that the brain does not distinguish much between lived experience and vividly imagined emotion. This means each thought of lack, even in the absence of evidence, wires the brain to expect scarcity. But this also means each intentional focus on gratitude and sufficiency rewires the brain toward abundance. Gratitude is not a superficial practice of listing what you appreciate. It is a profound vibrational reset. When you enter a state of genuine gratitude, your body releases chemicals of well-being, your heart rhythm stabilizes, and your mind begins to harmonize with possibilities rather than fears. This coherence shifts your frequency so that you begin to attract experiences that mirror sufficiency rather than lack. Joe Dispenza's research shows that people who cultivate elevated emotions such as gratitude and joy can alter measurable aspects of their biology, even impacting genetic expression. Scarcity, then, is not a fixed fate, but a vibration that can be transmuted. Another powerful way to move beyond scarcity is to reframe the way you view setbacks and delays. Scarcity interprets every delay as proof that abundance is impossible, fueling frustration and hopelessness. But in truth, the universe often orchestrates timing with precision, bringing opportunities when you are ready to receive them fully. Trust becomes the antidote to scarcity. Trust is not blind faith, but a conscious decision to align with the knowing that life is conspiring for your growth. This trust relaxes the nervous system, allowing you to remain open and receptive rather than closed and defensive. Scarcity also dissolves when you begin to embody the frequency of what you desire before it arrives. If you long for financial freedom, cultivate the inner state of security and generosity now. If you long for love, nurture feelings of worthiness and openness now. This is not pretense but resonance. You vibrate at the frequency of your desired reality, and the universe mirrors it back. Napoleon Hill captured this when he spoke of the master mind, the harmonization of thought and purpose that magnetizes success. The harmonization must occur first within yourself, where thought, feeling, and belief align with abundance. There will be moments when scarcity re-emerges, for it is a deeply ingrained pattern. When this happens, resist the urge to judge yourself. Instead, view it as an opportunity to notice, to pause, and to gently redirect. This compassionate awareness loosens the grip of the old vibration. Over time, the scarcity signal weakens and the abundant frequency strengthens until abundance becomes your new default. Ultimately, scarcity is not an external condition, but an internal vibration that sabotages manifestation by keeping you aligned with lack. The shift begins the moment you realize you are not bound by past conditioning or limited beliefs. You are a being of energy, and energy can be retuned. By choosing gratitude, trust, and resonance with abundance, you step out of the cycle of scarcity and into the flow of prosperity that has always been available. The universe does not withhold, it reflects. And when your vibration says, "I am enough, I have enough, I am aligned with infinite possibilities, the reflection changes. There is a quiet reason why so many dreams remain unmanifested, even when people practice visualization with passion and persistence. The missing ingredient is not imagination, but coherence. Emotional coherence is the alignment between what we think, what we feel, and what we intend. Without this harmony, manifestation becomes fragmented, like trying to send a radio signal through static. The desire may be strong, the visualization vivid, but if the emotions carried within the heart are discordant, the frequency transmitted to the universe is inconsistent. Many people attempt to manifest by rehearsing mental pictures of their goals, imagining wealth, love, or health as if simply seeing it in the mind were enough. Yet, deep beneath the polished imagery lies doubt, fear, or resignation. A person may visualize financial freedom, but if their body carries tension every time bills arrive, their heart is not in resonance with abundance. Another may envision a loving relationship, but if their emotions are soaked in loneliness or unworthiness, their vibration speaks louder than their imagination. This is the paradox of manifestation. The mind alone is not enough. It is the heart, with its profound electromagnetic field, that broadcasts the truth of our energy into the universe. Gregg Braden speaks of coherence as the synchronization of thought and emotion, a state where the heart and mind align to generate a powerful field of intention. In this state, manifestation becomes not a struggle, but a natural extension of being. When the mind imagines abundance and the heart genuinely feels gratitude, as if it were already present, the signal transmitted is pure, strong, and magnetic. Coherence transforms hope into certainty, possibility into inevitability. The lack of coherence explains why so many affirmations fail. Words spoken without emotional alignment remain hollow. Repeating, "I am abundant," while the body tightens with worry about money, creates energetic dissonance. The universe responds not to the words, but to the vibrational signature carried behind them. This is why coherence is not optional but essential. Without it, desire becomes a whisper drowned out by the louder vibration of fear or doubt. Restoring coherence begins with honesty. One must acknowledge the emotions truly present, rather than suppressing them under layers of forced positivity. If fear is present, naming it allows awareness to soften its hold. If sadness arises, giving it space to be felt prevents it from distorting the vibration unconsciously. True coherence does not mean never experiencing negative emotions. It means aligning intentions with authentic emotional states that resonate with the desired outcome. Gratitude, love, and trust are not artificial layers pasted over pain, but cultivated states that emerge as we choose to nurture them with consistency. Gratitude is especially potent in creating coherence. When you feel gratitude, not as a mental exercise but as a visceral emotion in the heart, the body enters a state of physiological harmony. Heart rate variability stabilizes, stress hormones decrease, and the nervous system relaxes. In this coherence, the body and mind unify to broadcast a clear signal. This explains why gratitude is often described as the gateway to manifestation. It aligns thought, feeling, and intention into one powerful current. Consider the difference between someone who visualizes a new career while feeling anxious about being unworthy, versus someone who visualizes the same career while feeling joy and gratitude for the opportunities already present. The first transmits confusion, the second transmits alignment. The universe mirrors back the clarity or the conflict. This is why manifestation is not about forcing external outcomes, but cultivating internal harmony first. Coherence also requires trust. Doubt fractures the signal, sending mixed messages into the field of possibilities. Trust is the inner knowing that what you seek is already aligned with you, even if the evidence has not yet appeared. Trust is not blind optimism. It is the recognition that the universe reflects vibration, and if your inner state is coherent, the outer must eventually follow. Trust allows you to release the need for control, creating space for manifestation to unfold in its natural timing. There are countless stories of people who achieved profound transformation once coherence was restored. A person struggling with illness who began practicing daily coherence through gratitude and love often found that healing accelerated. Another who felt blocked in career advancement but shifted into emotional alignment with worthiness and joy discovered opportunities appearing effortlessly. These are not coincidences but reflections of coherence at work. It is also important to understand that coherence is not a one-time achievement, but a practice. Just as muscles strengthen with repeated exercise, emotional coherence deepens with consistent attention. Simple rituals, like beginning the day with a few moments of heartfelt gratitude or pausing during stress to breathe and reconnect with intention, create pathways of coherence that grow stronger over time. Each small act of alignment reinforces the vibration of abundance and possibility. The universe does not demand perfection. It responds to authenticity and resonance. Even if coherence is momentary, those moments generate ripples that extend far beyond what can be seen. Over time, as coherence becomes the dominant state, manifestation ceases to feel like effort. Life begins to unfold with a sense of flow, synchronicities increase, and opportunities arrive that seem almost miraculous. But they are not miracles. They are the natural outcome of alignment. Ultimately, emotional coherence is the bridge between thought and reality. Without it, dreams remain distant, filtered through layers of doubt and fear. With it, manifestation becomes a living process, where the energy of the heart amplifies the intention of the mind, and the universe responds in kind. Coherence teaches us that manifestation is not about forcing the external to change, but about harmonizing the internal so completely that the external has no choice but to reflect the alignment. This is the silent truth of manifestation. The heart must feel what the mind imagines, and the body must embody what the soul intends. When this coherence is achieved, the signal becomes undeniable. The universe listens, responds, and mirrors back a reality that is not merely desired, but fully aligned. Within every human mind lies an intricate architecture of beliefs, some of which empower expansion while others quietly restrain it. Among these, limiting beliefs operate like invisible chains, subtly dictating what one perceives as possible. These beliefs often go unnoticed because they are not loud declarations but silent assumptions woven into daily thought. They whisper phrases like, "I am not good enough," "abundance is not meant for me," or "love is for others, not for me." Over time, these inner convictions solidify into a vibrational frequency that the universe mirrors with unwavering precision. The power of belief is not confined to the psychological realm. It shapes the very field of energy each individual emits. Neuroscience demonstrates that beliefs are not abstract notions, but neural circuits embedded within the brain, reinforced through repetition and emotion. When a limiting belief is activated, it triggers patterns of thought, behavior, and emotional response that maintain the same frequency. The brain does not distinguish between beliefs inherited from childhood, absorbed from culture, or formed through painful experiences. It treats them all as reality. As Joe Dispenza and other researchers have shown, neuroplasticity allows us to rewire these circuits, but only when we become conscious of them. Limiting beliefs often arise in moments of vulnerability. A child abandoned by a parent may internalize the belief that they are unworthy of love. A person repeatedly struggling with money may conclude that prosperity is unattainable. These beliefs, though formed from past events, become lenses through which all future experiences are interpreted. The tragedy is not that the beliefs are untrue, but that they are unconsciously accepted as permanent truths, sabotaging the individual's frequency. The universe reflects not external facts, but the internal conviction carried with emotional intensity. The subtle sabotage of limiting beliefs lies in their self-reinforcing nature. A person who believes they are unworthy of success may avoid taking risks, fearing failure. That avoidance leads to missed opportunities, which then confirms the belief of unworthiness. Similarly, someone who believes that money is scarce may cling tightly to every resource, creating a sense of contraction that repels prosperity. These behaviors seem rational from the perspective of the belief, but they ensure that the vibrational signal never rises above scarcity and fear. One of the most destructive aspects of limiting beliefs is their invisibility. They often masquerade as logic or realism. The thought, "I must work endlessly to earn love," may feel like a practical observation, but beneath it lies a distortion that ties worthiness to effort. The belief, "life is always a struggle," may appear as wisdom inherited from family, yet it perpetuates a frequency of hardship. These unchallenged assumptions become energetic defaults, ensuring that manifestation remains constrained within narrow boundaries. To transform limiting beliefs, awareness is the first threshold. It requires the courage to examine recurring patterns in life and ask, what hidden conviction might be sustaining this reality? If relationships continually end in abandonment, could there be a belief in unworthiness? If prosperity feels perpetually out of reach, is there a conviction that wealth belongs only to others? These questions do not condemn the self, but invite clarity. By naming the belief, its silent grip begins to loosen. Techniques such as reframing and subconscious reprogramming become invaluable in this process. Emotional freedom technique, EFT, affirmations grounded in genuine emotion, and meditative visualization all help dissolve the neural and energetic imprints of limiting beliefs. But beyond techniques, the deeper transformation occurs when one begins to replace the old vibration with an empowering alternative. The belief I am unworthy is not fought against, but gently replaced with I am deserving of love and abundance. Repetition, emotional engagement, and consistent practice rewire the brain and recalibrate the frequency. It is essential to approach this journey with compassion. Limiting beliefs are not evidence of failure, but remnants of past conditioning. They are strategies the mind once adopted to protect against pain or disappointment. To condemn them only strengthens their resistance. Instead, by embracing them with understanding and then choosing a new narrative, the energy shifts naturally. This is the alchemy of transformation, turning the lead of old beliefs into the gold of new consciousness. Stories abound of individuals who liberated themselves from limiting beliefs and watched their lives transform. A woman who believed she was destined to struggle financially discovered prosperity when she began affirming her worth and trusting her creative abilities. A man who believed love was conditional experienced deep connection only after releasing the conviction that he must earn affection through sacrifice. These examples reveal that manifestation is not about forcing external change, but dissolving the inner barriers that distort the signals sent to the universe. The work of Napoleon Hill echoes this truth in his description of the master mind, a state where thought is harmonized with purpose. Without clearing limiting beliefs, the mind cannot harmonize. It remains fractured, sending mixed signals into the field. But once the beliefs shift, coherence emerges, and the frequency aligns with abundance, health, and love. Ultimately, limiting beliefs are not fixed realities but temporary constructs sustained by repetition. They are like fog obscuring the horizon, convincing you that no path exists. Yet the horizon has always been there, waiting for the mist to clear. When you begin to dismantle these beliefs, not by force but by consistent reprogramming and compassionate awareness, your frequency rises. The universe, ever faithful to vibration, responds with clarity, synchronicity, and manifestation that once seemed impossible. In this unveiling, the truth becomes evident. You were never lacking, never undeserving, never disconnected from abundance. It was only the silent factor of limiting beliefs shaping the reflection you saw. The moment you choose to release them, you realign with the vast, infinite field of possibilities. The universe does not hesitate. It mirrors your newfound frequency, and life begins to unfold in harmony with the truth of who you really are. Amid the noise of desires, ambitions, and constant striving, there exists a space that is often overlooked, yet holds the greatest transformative power: silence. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, but the presence of alignment. It is the doorway through which the universe whispers, the sanctuary where the restless mind dissolves and the soul reconnects with its true rhythm. While many seek abundance through constant effort, affirmations, or visualization, it is in the quiet spaces of stillness that manifestation often finds its purest form. Silence carries a paradox. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, even intimidating, because it strips away distractions and exposes the unfiltered truth of our inner world. The mind, accustomed to endless chatter, resists with urgency. Thoughts of unfinished tasks, lingering fears, and endless lists arise. Yet it is precisely this initial resistance that reveals how far we drift from presence. Beneath the surface noise, silence invites us to release control, to stop striving, and to remember that manifestation is not about forcing reality, but aligning with it. From a spiritual perspective, silence is not emptiness but fullness. In the stillness of meditation or contemplative presence, one encounters the infinite field that holds all possibilities. It is here that intuition becomes audible, guidance emerges with clarity, and the energy of the universe can flow without obstruction. The sages of every tradition have spoken of this truth, that silence is the language of the divine. When we quiet the internal storms, we step into harmony with the universal current that always knows the way. Science, too, affirms the power of silence. Studies show that quieting the mind through practices such as meditation alters brainwave patterns, reduces stress hormones, and fosters coherence between heart and brain. This physiological shift creates an energetic field of receptivity, a state in which manifestation becomes more fluid. Joe Dispenza often emphasizes that entering the space of no thing and no time allows us to access pure potential where new realities can be seeded. Silence, then, is not passive withdrawal, but active participation in the creation of reality. One of the profound effects of silence is its ability to dissolve the ego's constant demands. The ego thrives on doing, controlling, and achieving, perpetually fearing that stillness equates to stagnation. Yet when we surrender to silence, we discover that it is not stagnation but alignment. In silence, we remember that the universe is not moved by force, but by resonance. The vibration we hold in stillness often speaks louder than the actions we take in frenzy. Silence also heals the fractures within. So many individuals carry inner battles, unresolved grief, doubts about worthiness, or the exhaustion of striving without rest. When embraced, silence allows these wounds to surface, not to torment, but to be acknowledged and released. In the stillness, emotions once buried begin to flow, and in their release, the heart grows lighter. This inner clearing elevates the frequency, creating a vessel ready to resonate with abundance, love, and peace. Silence does not erase pain, but transforms it into wisdom. To cultivate silence as a spiritual practice does not require withdrawing from the world. It can be woven into the fabric of daily life. A few minutes of mindful breathing in the morning, walking slowly in nature without distraction, or closing the eyes to rest in awareness between tasks can open gateways to profound connection. These moments, though simple, recalibrate the nervous system and remind the soul of its belonging to the universe. The potency of silence also lies in its invitation to trust. When we stop filling every void with action or words, we learn to rest in the unseen flow of life. Trust grows in this quiet surrender, where the need to force outcomes fades, and the awareness that the universe orchestrates perfectly arises. This trust itself becomes a frequency, one that communicates readiness to receive. The irony is that silence, which seems like doing nothing, becomes the most powerful signal of alignment. Stories of transformation often highlight this truth. People who have wrestled with scarcity, heartbreak, or illness frequently describe a turning point, not in moments of effort, but in surrender. It was in silence, in letting go, that clarity arose, solutions appeared, or healing began. These are not coincidences, but reflections of how silence opens the channel to universal intelligence. Napoleon Hill spoke of the mastermind as the union of thought with higher purpose. Silence is the place where this union becomes possible, for it clears the clutter of doubt and fear, making space for purpose to emerge. It is the soil where the seeds of intention are planted, nourished not by noise, but by stillness. The greatest manifestations often arise not from the loud declarations of desire, but from the quiet certainty cultivated in silence. Ultimately, silence is not an escape from life, but an entrance into its deeper dimension. It is where we stop chasing and start aligning, where we remember that abundance flows not from demand, but from resonance. When we dwell in silence, we attune to the heartbeat of the universe itself, and from that alignment, manifestation becomes effortless. The power of silence is the power of presence, and presence is the key to transformation. To embrace silence is to step into the eternal dialogue with the universe, a dialogue that does not require words, only frequency. In that sacred exchange, you realize that you are not separate from the abundance you seek. You are already part of the flow, and in the quiet, life begins to respond, reshaping itself in harmony with the vibration you carry within. The journey through scarcity, coherence, limiting beliefs, and silence reveals a truth that is both humbling and empowering. The universe is not against you, nor is it withholding anything. It is always reflecting the frequency you sustain within. When you vibrate with fear, lack, or doubt, life mirrors those states. When you cultivate gratitude, trust, and alignment, life reflects abundance, opportunities, and love. Transformation, therefore, does not begin with external change. It begins within, with the conscious decision to elevate your vibration and harmonize your inner world with the flow of the universe. Joe Dispenza reminds us that by reprogramming our thoughts and emotions, we reprogram our biology, creating a new reality from the inside out. Napoleon Hill spoke of the mastermind, the inner alignment that magnetizes miracles. Gregg Braden emphasized coherence as the bridge between thought and manifestation. Their teachings converge on one undeniable truth: your energy is your greatest currency, and the universe responds faithfully to it. The practices of gratitude, emotional coherence, releasing limiting beliefs, and embracing silence are not distant philosophies. They are tangible doorways into a new life. Each moment you choose to shift from fear to trust, from scarcity to sufficiency, from noise to silence, you step into harmony with the infinite. In that harmony, manifestation is no longer a desperate pursuit, but a natural unfolding. Life will continue to present challenges, but within those challenges lies the invitation to realign. You are not defined by your past patterns or limitations. You are a being of energy, capable of transforming your frequency, and in doing so, transforming your reality. The universe waits only for your resonance. When you rise into coherence, trust, and silence, you rediscover that prosperity, love, and peace were never outside of you. They have always been within, waiting for you to align. If everything you have heard today resonates deeply, pause and ask yourself, are you truly ready to live in harmony with the universe and allow it to transform every level of your life? This is the moment to step into your power. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss the wisdom and practices that can continue guiding your journey. And don't stop here. Continue watching the video appearing on your screen right now, because your path to alignment and manifestation is just beginning. The universe is waiting for your yes.